Okay, good morning. We're going to begin the administration committee meeting for March of 2026, and we will begin with the Department of Social Services.
Thank you. Okay, first, I'd like to request a resolution to declare April Child Abuse Prevention Month.
I'm sorry, what month?
Child abuse prevention.
Yeah, April.
I'll motion.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Right.
Okay, that motion passes.
Yeah. I'd also like to request approval to amend the opportunities for Otsego housing contract, the shelter contract. Dan Hammer advised that they should be charging rather than a per person rate per night, that they should have a room rate. Paid per room. So I provided you a spreadsheet that shows, we took the data from last year, did a comparison of what the old rate would be versus the new. It would actually be a savings. Per room rate.
I'll motion that.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Certainly glad to follow that guidance.
And Opportunities for Otsego had one other request. Occasionally there are families who have an opportunity to go visit relatives during the holiday for a weekend, and public assistance requirements. If someone leaves the shelter, they have to end shelter and reapply again. So the family would have to end their shelter, come to DSS, fill out another application, start the process over. So they're asking if the county would be willing to pay on those rare occurrences where the family has an opportunity to visit a relative for a holiday.
Well,
So it might be a
do
night.
we need to motion that separately, or is that, you want to include that in this rate?
What are your thoughts, Phoebe?
I was gonna say, it's just a policy change, it's not.
Yeah,
Okay,
That wouldn't be something we would just have to say, like,
so
we know
I'll
about.
include that in my motion. Because I could technically vote it down without this.
Right.
So, right. So the room would still be held.
Like
Yes.
for that fan.
right.
So can we put a time limit on that? In other
Sure.
words, you know, if they're gonna go visit family, I could see it at Christmas or whatever.
Mhm.
But for 2 weeks might be an issue.
It's not.
So-
I was thinking of like 2 nights.
Yeah,
That
it's-
makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's-
Right, so I would vote for that, as long as we had some sort of limit on that.
Okay.
So, do we get reimbursed for this
For family assistance, we do, but not for
shelter?
the,
No.
not for if they leave and go visit a relative, but otherwise it's 100% reimbursed.
So we're gonna pay, but we're not gonna get reimbursed.
Right. Okay. Nice. I do have a donation account I can try and use if we have money there. I just can't guarantee that there's.
There is a certain cost associated with rerunning the application.
Right.
So
Yeah, so we're saving on
a
that.
little savings to go against that.
So how about I motion what's reasonable?
Nights.
Yeah, night, I would say, yeah,
1 night, 2,
3,
I'd do
2 or
it for-
3, yeah.
3 is
up to 3, not to exceed.
Not-
So I'll include in my motion not to exceed 3.
Okay,
and it's also, if I recall correctly, it's a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
This happens in
they
the
said it's
first
rare.
place, so it's not like this is.
Gonna empty
Yeah.
out every Christmas. Okay. Okay. Retta, are we ready to vote? Okay, we'll go to vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Yeah,
Oh, thanks, Lisa. Okay. Next, we have Jeanette. Morning, Jeanette.
Morning. I would like approval to contract with Jennifer Grigoli, as a nurse practitioner full-time at $215 per hour, which would be $391,300 per year.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? On the nurse practitioner? Okay, we will go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
I just wanted to inform you guys, this came about this week. So I have two billing people in my department. One of them turned in, she's going to retire, and her last day will be next Friday, March 27th. That leaves one biller. And just some of you know how our department works. We have three offices that need to have front desk coverage at all times. So when people are out, we have to pull people, and this leaves my other biller that I do have to pull quite frequently to cover the desk. Just this week alone, she'll be covering 4 days of a front desk, which means billing stops on those days. So I did want to make you guys aware that we're going to be down one, and then when I have to pull somebody, billing also stops.
And were you able to post for the job prior to the retirement, or do you have to wait until they actually leave?
Well, she just notified me Monday and I sent the paperwork over to HR. The last I saw in an email that I was included in, it was sent to Steve's office for signature. I have not seen, if he may not have included me on the reply all for it to go back to HR. So at this point, I'm not sure if it's still in Steve's office or if it's back at HR.
Okay, but it would be important to repost ASAP.
Yes.
Okay,
There's no, I mean, we don't have, like a flow pool, do we? I mean, like on the desk side of
This
it,
office, I mean, that seems to me the central business office.
I mean, it's like, when we pull somebody, either from the billing standpoint, or at least to give her some coverage.
Or to cover the desk there, is there somewhere else?
Well, so keep in mind, if someone covers the desk, right, they have to go down there
To Oneonta, right,
to Oneonta.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's CBO, and there's only two CBO people, so they will stop processing payables.
right.
Now is not an especially good time because we got quite a bit of late ones that we're struggling to get through, catch up from both 25 and 26 is starting to ramp up. So that's one thing. But probably the more important thing is billing in Jeanette's department is its own, it's quite technical. And so,
you don't have a lot of cross training.
No.
right,
Interchangeable parts there.
we, like, I mean, we couldn't Alan is God's gift to managing all of that stuff in our office. We couldn't just throw him in there for him to be successful. Because it is so technical. Besides, he'd probably kill me if I did that, so.
I just want to say too, all our support staff that we receive, whether you're billing, whether you're our senior account clerk typist, we have medical, well, we're still trying to recruit for the medical records. We cross-train all of them so that when we have a little pool to pull from, it's just we're down. Like we don't have a medical records person. I'm waiting for that to get reposted. We do have a senior account clerk typist, but like today, I have two front desk people out, so I had to pull her and the biller. And I alternate between the two of them because that other person, not the biller, does the insurance verification and puts it into the system so that the bills can go out to the insurance. So I need her to do her work so billing can do her work. So pulling them each, I'll pull for one day and let the other person catch up and back and forth. We're just down on support staff right now. And to pull somebody from a different part of the county, if that's what you were kind of indicating, our whole EMR is very complicated to have them come down for one day and use our system. The training process alone is very in-depth. It would be very difficult to do.
So our priority would be to get you stacked back up and.
Yeah. Yes.
How much notice were you given that the retirement was coming?
She told me Monday of this week, and her last day, like I said, will be next Friday.
That's not 2 weeks.
We saw almost two.
Yeah, Monday, I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty close.
Like,
We should have a policy of
10 working days.
14 days,
14 working days or
Yeah.
14 day days?
14-day days.
Yeah, it's close.
yeah, it is pretty close, but yeah, we should revisit that with Penny and see.
You can't just,
Say, well,
Tired.
I'm done.
because even still, if you have vacation days,
They have to get a court
you can put in for your retirement 2 weeks ahead and
and not come to
And
work.
walk
on
off the job.
day. Yeah. Okay, so
I know
let's,
somebody did that.
okay,
We'll check if I don't think we have it yet. We may, there is apparently one that came in maybe yesterday that we got. Maybe that's this one, and if that's the case, we'll kick it out and send it to, Penny today.
okay,
Okay, that's all I have. I just wanted to make you aware.
okay, thank you, Jeanette.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too, thanks. Sheriff Devlin,
Morning.
morning, Sheriff.
Just got a couple things, in the beginning here for housekeeping. I need to amend resolution 2025-0102, which is inmate food to $191,151.26. That'll be, an overage, and that will, clean up the records for the end of the year.
Come on.
Second?
Any questions or discussion on the overage? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta.
Yeah.
Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Second resolution is resolution number 29-2025-0102. Needs to be amended to $31,067. Again, this is for an adjustment.
Second.
Have any questions on the SPCA amount?
No, we're on the resolution, not the SPCA. Maybe it's not on your agenda. Maybe I left that off.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
It's the second.
Oh, it's the second.
Pretty sure.
Oh, the resolution. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not as. I'm listening. Okay. And you only hear what you think you're. Do we have a second? And we do have a first and we have a second. Okay, any discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini, Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
The next is approval to pay fees to the SPCA in the amount of $10,020. This is for animal cruelty investigations. It'll be for quarters 1, 2, and 3 of 2025.
Now we're on the SPCA. You have a motion?
So
Second.
Questions or discussion?
This is for last year.
Yes, this will be for the first 3 quarters of 25. It got held up because it's over the $10,000 threshold, so we had to bring it back for approval.
Okay,
So we only pay this if we have investigations?
Correct. These are fees that were incurred due to investigations.
Okay. Thank you.
okay, now we'll go ahead and vote on the SPCA.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Training request for $4,000 to send 3 new hire deputy sheriffs to Broome County Law Enforcement Academy.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion on the training? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that motion is approved.
Approval to purchase body armor, the amount of $35,000. This is replacing expired gear.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion on the purchase? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini, Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Next is approval to purchase software, amount of $13,000 annually for Exxon body cameras. This will enhance the capability of us to have GPS and remote live stream into the cameras. So right now, the deputies are away from their vehicles. We don't know where they ultimately end up, where this will give us lifetime GPS capability. So anytime they're away from the car, foot pursuit, or just at a scene that we're working with multiple officers, we'll be able to see their GPS and plot them on a map.
So move.
Questions or discussion? Here, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
The next two items have to go through for public safety, but I didn't get the paperwork till this week, so we missed the public safety meeting. So I'll be bringing this in to April, but I figured while I've got it, we'll get started. Approval to pay a training invoice for a deputy sheriff who at the Mohawk Valley Police Academy in amount of $2,650.
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
So are you gonna need a special meeting for this, or can this wait until April PSLA?
No, this can wait, Dan. He's actually in the academy. We sent him in January, but we just got the invoice, so we didn't have anything as far as the cost, so.
So it's okay if this doesn't go before the board until the May meeting, right?
Yeah, it'll just be a PSLA approval
Yeah.
in
All right.
April. We'll be fine, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a time sensitive invoice?
No. No, I got 90 days to pay it, so we're good.
Okay, all right, plenty of time.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
If we do need a meeting for something else prior to the board meeting, I'll try to remember to bring this in.
Okay.
Okay, Loretta, we're ready to vote when you are.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
voting.
Why are we
I
voting
don't know,
now?
we voting. Because of sheriff asked to have approval to say
It's over
the.
$2,000. I need committee
I know,
approval.
bringing it to them in April, can't we approve it in April for May's meeting?
We could.
We could.
What difference does it make?
Well,
Let's do it backwards at all. I guess.
whatever,
How many have voted? Just me?
kind of a process has gone backwards.
we
It
got up
is a
to-
little, but. Well, it. Go ahead.
We got up to Martini.
Okay, let's continue voting.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. So
You
you,
call my name?
Yes.
Earlier. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
January.
I got Kennedy, McCarty, Wilbur, and then
okay.
then we had questions. Okay. Sheriff, you had another item that didn't go to.
Yeah, we pay at the Stop DWI funds for the annual Santa run, which is in April. I just got the notice on this as well, so we'll probably wind up paying this after the event because we can't get the approval before, but again, it was $2,500 at Stop DWI funds.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, though that motion passes as well.
That's all I have for the committee.
Oh, thanks, Sheriff.
All right, have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Actually, those amounts were probably not, they didn't need to come to admin for a 2,000. Usually spent
What's
for that normally. Those, the SAG run and the training at 2,500, do we usually?
They always do though.
Yeah, I think they do, but I don't know. I never thought we. Okay. Oh, we did, so. Okay. Rich, good morning.
Morning, everybody. Like to request a motion to authorize the chair of the board or county administrator to execute all agreements with New York State in connection with the County Route 11 Roadway Departure Safety Action Plan Program Guide Rail Replacement Project in Hartwick. Cost not to exceed $736,842 out of D 5113-522-400. That's our Bridge New York line.
So moved. Second.
Questions or discussion?
This is very similar to our other Bridge New York program. It's 95% reimbursable, and the federal share of the award is 700,000. So the $36,842 will be the local share.
And this will be probably sometime during this construction season going into 26.
That's what we're hoping, unless we run into a little bit of snag. It's got to go through the FHWA, so sometimes they get held up. The engineer thinks that that we're going to be able to get it done this year.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Any questions? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
This next one is right along with that. This is to request a motion to contract with Fisher Associates for engineering and associated services in connection with the County Route 11 Roadway Departure Safety Action Plan Guide Rail Replacement Project in Hartwick at a cost not to exceed $57,820 out of D 5113-522-400.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
Fisher's the engineer that submitted the application for us, and so they're going to do the rest of the design.
And do we pay them out of the $736,000 award or?
Yes, that's included in that. Yep.
All right, any other questions? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
So with that, we had a budget modification that we talked about in Public Works to bring the money up into Bridge New York, but we got another bridge project that's not going to be able to be completed this year. So there was local money budgeted there for that already. So we don't need the budget mod now. We'll use that local money, and I'll come back next month and have all the details on that of what it's going to be. But so we're good for this gives us the approval to spend it, and the money's already in there. It was just for another project. But
Okay.
next one, I'd like to request a motion to amend Resolution 45 of 2026 to allow the superintendent of highways to fill positions within the highway department above base. Resolution 45 allows the superintendent to fill vacant positions at the highest step with the approval of the county administrator and personnel officer. With the additional steps that are included in the new CBA, we'd like to bring new employees, new hires in at the same rate as before, not the highest step, unless we get somebody that is just super stellar that we get one of them maybe once every few years, and that where they won't come for the salary we're offering.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
Did y'all have something else that you needed to?
Ed wanted to ask, but I think we're gonna do this one and then go back to that one. So this is, we'll do number 3 and then we'll have that. Are there any questions about filling the positions above base? Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, so that motion passes. So Rich, the chair had a question.
No, I understand. I should have spoke to you this morning when we met, Rich, at the Public Works and Transportation Committee at NISAC on Monday. They spoke about this guardrail program, and they said that it was very underutilized last year across the state. And they're encouraging people to apply this year again. They have funds left over from 25, and they feel they might have overfunded the whole program. So if there's something that can apply, they were encouraging people to apply because they didn't spend all the money that they had last year. Maybe that's why he got more than he anticipated.
Yeah, we put in for 400,000 and we got 700. And they told us the same thing. They weren't getting any applications. It's it's a tough program. You can't just put in for it anywhere. There's very specific sections of roads. It's not even a whole road. It's difficult, but we're gonna look at it again. You know, it's good money. It's just very, very, you can't even explain it.
A very narrow set of
Oh,
services.
it's terrible. You can do a little bit here, but you can't do this. And you go down the road another mile, and yet you can do a part of that section. You can do one side of the road, but you can't do the others. It's
Hey, Rich,
yes, sir.
can the towns apply for it?
I'm pretty sure they can if they want to go through the federal process.
Okay. All right. So we on to number 4 on your agenda.
4. Thank you. Request a motion to authorize the superintendent to procure all materials and services related to the replacement of the bridge bin 3353640 over Rogers Hollow Brook on County Route 1 in the town of Unadilla at a cost not to exceed $1,500,000 out of D5113-522500. That's our CHIPS capital maintenance line. And this will be a 2027, hopefully a 2027 construction, but we want to get started on the engineering so that we're ready to go to bid towards the end of this year, so we can get to steel and actually get it constructed next year.
So moved. Second.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Request a motion to authorize the superintendent to procure all materials and services related to road striping for an amount not to exceed the budgeted amount of $370,552 out of from D5112-522150. That's our center and edge line painting, and the budgeted amount in D5113-522500 chips line.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or discussion? Go for a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. Request a motion to award the timber sale bid OTGOV-006 of 26 for parcels numbers 6 and 12 to Green Lumber Company for $101,949.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or discussion on the timber sale? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Rich, on that bid, do you have any idea why they were so far apart?
No, I don't. It was probably, I'm trying to remember. I think it was about 20,000 more than the forester had anticipated. It just the other bidder was 26,000. It was they weren't even close. It didn't really make a lot of sense to us.
Okay. All right.
And that's all I got for you.
Oh, thank you, Rich.
Rich, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Rich, the supervisor of the town of Oneonta has put in a grant similar to ones that I think we're putting in or will put in. He's wanting to buy snow plows and a street sweeper. And he reached out and asked if he can piggyback or in some way work with the county to maybe get a more appropriate procurement process and better prices. Would you mind if I hooked him up with you for a little kind of briefing on how the whole thing works? I think does not have a lot of experience with this.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We do this all the time. I can help him out.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks.
I know we're way ahead. This Board of Elections is not. Right?
Sitting that way ahead where, didn't she?
Oh, well, it was inevitable. I don't know how else to say it.
Got Steve Wilson right on it.
We could, oh, that's true. We could.
Honest,
Could.
I will absolutely get you guys out of here by 4. Total commitment to that.
So Steve has a 10-minute presentation, so.
Oh. You want me to not? That's
Yeah,
fine.
let's not. We have 15, so.
Okay,
See, we're gonna just move you up on the agenda.
all righty. So, Alan is going to hand out a PowerPoint, that's not as long as some of my regular epics. Later this year, the board is gonna have to make another set of difficult budget decisions similar to last year. And if you recall, I was less than completely clear. There was some confusion in the process. So I want to do a kind of heads up before we have all the numbers calculated into the budget process, which will be later this year, to let you know what we need to do. And so if you look at this deck, the very first page is called bluff. And I want to, and it's not a bluff, it's bottom line up front. And we looked at some historical data, and what we discovered is that when the county budgets, it typically, by the end of the year, budgets or authorizes expenditures greater than the revenues we have. That we expect to have by a significant amount, by about $11 million a year. We do the same thing. That's with the so-called revised budget. Now, look at another budget, the adopted budget, the one we do at the beginning of the year. That also, we routinely approve more expenses than revenues. Right? Now, we do that in good faith. That's what we think stuff is going to be, right? But when actuals come in at the end of the year and goes through the audit process, expenses are still greater than revenues most years, but we fill the balance with fund balance. And that amount is roughly about 2.5 million, significantly less. What this means, big picture, is our budget process is not very effective at actually controlling costs. Because departments always come in less than what we budget for. All right. Now, if you'll switch over to the next slide. All right, it's that thing. This will give you a sense of the trends. The blue line at the top is the revised budget or the budget at the end of the year. This is budgeted. And we compare expenses to revenues, and this blue line represents the gap between expenses and revenues. The orange line, which peeks out a little bit onto the right side, it covers the whole page, but you can see it on the right. That is the adopted budget. And the green line is what actually occurs when all is said and done. A significant difference. And you'll see in some of the notes, the average from the revised budget, expenses exceed revenues by about 11 million. This is 2019 through 25, and the 25 numbers, of course, are not completely complete. The adopted budget, 9.7 million on average, but the actual comes in at 1.6 on average. All right, so you would think, good heavens, the board is not doing such a good job on controlling its budget. And no doubt some people will draw that conclusion, but that's completely false, right? It may seem like it from these numbers, but that's not what's really going on. From about 2008 to, or put another way, from the big financial crash in 2008 to COVID, inflation expenses and revenues in New York State counties, and indeed pretty much across the whole country, were remarkably stable. Pretty much the same. And so you could aspirationally budget more. And when actuals came in that shows it's under the budget, you didn't really have to change that approach. You could just take a little bit from fund balance and move on. And everyone was focused on the actual expenditures versus the budget expenditures, right? But that situation is changing now, and that way of doing budgeting is not gonna work going forward because of the inflation post-COVID that is continuing. And we notice that in our daily work. Expenses are up. I mean, you experience that, especially in this committee, pretty routinely. Okay. If you look at the next slide, which is slide 5. Now, I have trouble explaining this stuff, okay? So work with me here. Each of these bars represents a budget process. The orange is the adopted budget. The blue is the revised budget, and the green is actuals. So 3 separate looks at our money. And
At the gap between the revenue and expenses.
yes, right?
That dictates the gap, not the actual expenses or the revenues. It's the gap between the two.
Traditionally filled with fund.
Yes, yes. Take a look at 2019 at the numbers down toward the bottom to the left, right? When we adopted that budget, right, it was $9.8 million in expenses over revenues. That's classic, not structurally balanced. And the budget experts and others would say, bad Otsego County, right? But because of that low inflation and steady revenues, it turns out it's going to work out. Look at next, the blue bar, the revised. It's actually increased a little bit, that gap. It's $10 million. But at the end of the year, when our auditors get through our books, what it finds out is that gap is just 2.5 million. And we easily do that with fund balance. I'll do some fund balance numbers a little bit later, so it might be helpful. But the things that I want to point out about this chart, right? Notice the gap keeps getting better. Both the orange line and the blue line are higher in later years to the right than they are at the beginning. So the gap keeps getting better. And notice too, we seem to be approving the gap for the revised budget during the year is also getting better. But look at the green bars. They're kind of stable, except for the fact in 2020, 2021, 22, it was kind of a negative gap, which is a silly way of saying a surplus. And that reflected the fact that we got a big onrush of funding from ARPA. Okay. To me, the important thing about this is there's a lot of concern and fear about reducing the budget. But I think these numbers suggest that you can do a lot of budget reducing without hitting too much in the actual cost of operation. You'll have to sort this out department by department. But I think we have a way to make that a lot clearer. If you switch to the next page.
What did you say, you said ARPA, we got a big. That was,
Yes.
COVID money.
Most counties did.
Oh, Jim, you missed it.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Planning.
Timing could be good. I missed it too here. So look on the next slide. Right, and it's this thing with the green and the blue boxes. All right, in the green, I want to take a different look at our numbers. Our numbers are kind of hard to understand unless you know Munis well, and especially the New York State and our own chart of accounts. Heavy duty account. Okay, and most of us don't have the time. Certainly most of you don't have the time to do that. So, and the financial statements of Munis make it not easy to see where we might focus our quote cuts on. So think of the budget in about 5 buckets. One are the core programs or the must pays. Think about all the county workforce for that. Things like the sales tax distribution, insurance probably. Then there are mandated programs. We talked to you about those earlier. There's a significant local cost to those.
28 million.
At least one number I said got through. I'm getting better, maybe. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, Dan. Non-mandated programs, grant-funded programs, and one-time expenses. And in all of these, we add up what is the expected revenue, subtract the expected expenses, and figure out, if you will, the budget gap. For each of those, you add all that up, and you get a total budget gap. Again, this is budgets. Okay. We're going to do, and so for each of these, right, we are going to create a 5-year plan starting with 2027. So we will know what the budget gaps are in each of these levels, right, in advance. So we don't get surprised with a $15-16 million gap like we did last year for the 26 budget. We're also going to use that to set targets for the annual budget, including for 27. And we will ask departments to do both reductions and increases as appropriate for each of these areas. And then finally, we're going to ask them to think about and develop a kind of strategy as to how they can, over the next 5 years, help the county get to structural balance. Now, what this means is that when we set targets for 27, they are going to be less than the 26 budget. There's no way we can avoid that. We will make estimates about the possibilities of raising taxes and stuff, and that's always a possibility. There are other things, but we're going to have to think this through, and we are going to have to ask departments to help us think this through. Just a guess, I know I can't. Probably the board can't get enough detail with enough knowledge in almost any department. Maybe Dan can for codes, but most of the rest of us cannot. And so we're gonna have to rely on departments to help us. And this is gonna be really hard. Technically, this is not gonna be hard. Adding up the numbers, we can deal with that. So can our department. Psychologically, just think back to how departments talk to you about the cuts we asked them to do for the 26 budget. This is going to be hard. What I am doing is to facilitate that are a couple of things. first off, I'm moving out as much as possible the calculation work we do. So our budget analysts will not be sitting in their offices. They will be out in department offices, helping them figure this out. I plan, when I get back from my medical situation, to have a series of meetings with departments in each of these core elements. If you think everyone will probably want to be involved in the core, but some may think they have mandated programs, et cetera, et cetera. We'll meet with them all to let them know what's coming. Okay? This will provide you with the information I think necessary with the cooperation of departments to make these difficult decisions that you're going to have to face later in the year. And hopefully to do it in a way that's not my trademark over number approach to things.
I think if you flip back to this chart right here, when you see the difference between the budgeted gap and the actual gap, it's significant. Each department looks at their last 5 years, say what I budgeted for and what my actual expenses were, and they find out where is that delta? Where in their department did they not spend? That should probably be the target going forward of what we're cut out of the budget. Because they aren't spending somewhere in there, they aren't spending some money. And I think that would be priority one, is for them to look inside their department, and the budget analysts are gonna provide that, Steve, to each department head. I understand they have been provided that. So
Yes.
that would be where we would target. I think it is doable. Are we gonna reach those numbers? I'm not sure. But I know I speak for myself when I say, since I was in the village, doing budgets as mayor, here for 12, 14 years, all the departments come and, they say what they want, Whatever that budget number is at the end of the year is what it is. Maybe we're doing it wrong. Maybe we should give them targets to attempt to reach instead of having that, whatever number is that we end up at. Maybe we should have them targets and numbers, so.
I would disagree in one way with what Ed just said. I don't think the county's been doing things wrong. Your budget process needs to follow your fiscal situation. It worked for a while, but it doesn't work any longer. What we are talking about is a well-established process you can see in any number of counties, cities and the like, which get themselves and keep them at structural balance. Now, the two other things we've got to understand about this. First off, if you go to slide that looks like this. Sorry, I can't see the lead number.
So we're almost to Heidi's time, and then we can go to part two if you would your regular time, but where do you think would be an actual ending for part one?
I've got 2 slides to do.
Okay, so let's do those two and then we'll finish it.
So this is just about how the strategic plan and the service levels fit in all this. When you have to make decisions, right? You've got to see you've got to relate it to the strategic plan, and we will be allocating costs with departments over the next couple of months. So you will know, for instance, any particular program, that's what the cost is, and that's what the quantitative results of what they actually deliver. I'd like to you could use highways, roads paved, for instance. For social services, you might do, pardon me, how many homeless people we've housed, or how many people we support, that kind of stuff. So you'll be able to figure the cost of those programs. In both instances, that'll be important because you're not gonna wanna say, all right, we're not gonna pave any roads, we're not gonna care for the homeless. But you may want to push your departments to use their superior operational knowledge to come up with less expensive ways. And they may not be able to do it in the first year, but that's why it's a 5-year plan, and it'll take us a while to get there. That's what this slide is about. And then the next slide is having to do with implementing the capital plan. All right. I've added up what I think are the capital projects that have been approved by the board thus far. Estimated debt service roughly is about 6 million over 20 or 30 years. Okay. The problem is to get the best rates, our fund balance needs to be, the baseline metric is 2 months of your expenses, which in our case for 26 would be a whopping $27 million. It is vitally important that we deliberately work to improve the fund balance. We may get good news by that from the financial statement, but that needs to be uppermost in your mind. And otherwise, this debt service number, which is estimated at basically 4%, could kick up to 5%. And that's gonna reverberate for 20 or 30 years onto your operating program. It's really important that we try to do it, and that might mean, I haven't figured out the details on this, but it might mean that there is a delay in the capital project. What it doesn't mean is that we can kick the can down the road on these capital projects. I won't take the jail, which is kind of controversial, but just think about the highway building. We have millions of dollars in rolling stock sitting out there rusting. Okay? Notwithstanding Rich's efforts. That's just that. We have a fire training, burn tower, at least aspect of that is old and at some point, maybe soon, is going to fail codes, and then this county will be without a burn tower. And that might not seem like a big deal, but you will find that it is. This last page.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
If you're saying we gotta have a $27 million fund balance to bond these, if we got that kind of money, why can't we do the fire training center and the transfer station? Those are the two smallest ones. Why we gotta bond those if we end up with a fund balance of 27 million?
If we have a fund balance of
Well, you're saying
27 million
we gotta have a
or
20,
more,
let me finish. You gotta have a $27 million fund balance before we, to bond for all the rest of these. To get that money.
to get the best rate.
So if we get the 27 million, why not do the smaller ones and at first and then go on from there?
Because you have big capital expenses coming down, other than those small ones. What we need, Keith, in my view, is a strategy, especially a financial strategy, so we can make those kind of trade-offs. You're absolutely right. The last is just the fund balance trend. I don't need to go over that, but you will see we didn't come anywhere close to what the 2-month rule is. I can describe this with a little help from my friends. but it really requires board leadership. And so this is meant to be a heads up, not the details, don't have all the numbers nailed down. And some of them we won't until later, but I just felt it was important, especially before I go out, that you have a sense for what's facing us. This may seem insurmountable. It is not. You go back to the actual shortfalls, and I think we can manage that. So, thank you.
Sorry. Okay. All right, Steve, thank you. So we're gonna come back to you a little bit later in the agenda, so think about what you want to ask Steve about it now, we'll be ready for round 2. Okay, but we're gonna move on to the Department of Health now. And hey, Cheryl.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Okay, this is, just, we need to, when we did the positions for the psychologists, we had marked that we needed to unfund. What we really needed to do was mark that we needed to take the money that was in our contract line to put in our personal service line to cover that. So resolution number 172-20260304 is saying that that expenditure in the Department of Health be unfunded. And this resolution should not have been created. So I'm not quite sure how to address that.
Well, we could amend, do you want to, so the resolution was unfunding it?
It was unfunding it. The money is in our contracted service line. But because we have to put them on the payroll, we were going to just transfer the money from the contracted service line to the personal service line rather than unfund.
Did you talk with personnel or the treasurer's office or someone who has more knowledge on that than we do? I'm not 100% sure what, I think that you should,
If I could add a couple.
yeah,
That might be helpful. Cheryl will explain exactly the problem. I think the fix is kind of easy. We need to reverse the resolution that called for unfunding.
okay.
So not unfunded. We can either now or next month do a transfer from the health department's contracts line to the personal services line, and that will be fine. I don't believe we approved a specific transfer at HSC. Yeah, so we can do next month. It'll be fine. We
Okay.
just,
What's the time frame you're dealing with?
I don't know. I feel like,
I don't think it's like
mission
critical. Yeah.
right.
So I'll motion that we
reverse the,
rescind the motion to unfund.
what was did you get that
You have that
resolution number, Loretta?
Yes. 172-202-60304.
Okay,
Okay,
so I'll make a motion that we rescind that motion to defund.
okay, do we have a second? Second. Okay, any questions or discussion on this?
I'm just, because I don't think we've ever rescinded a motion, so I just want to make sure that, like, on my side of things, we get what we need to do. Are we amending it to change that we're fund, or is there?
Greg, the way I see it,
Yep.
correct me if I'm wrong, is we're gonna rescind this motion. Then either now or next month, we're going to motion to transfer the funds to cover that cost out of
I think there's two separate, for the
two separate.
resolution that we're talking about, what we want to pull back is the unfunding of the position.
So amend that.
amend that.
remove the unfunding portion.
Correct.
I think that's all we need to do for the upcoming board meeting.
So there'll be a new resolution that'll still say everything on that resolution except for the unfunded part.
Correct.
Right, and then there'll be a transfer. I forget what the dollar amount of the transfer will be. It may not even need to come to the board or the committee, but if it does, it'll just be a routine.
And that's gonna come next month.
That'll come next month.
Gotcha.
Okay.
If you don't rescind this, you can't transfer, there's no reason to transfer.
Won't be any
Because it
money
doesn't
there.
Right,
Yeah.
right, but Heidi will run out of money in her
Right.
salary.
Okay, so we'll fix it by unfunding. We have a motion and a second.
Do you have a second?
So, yeah,
Yeah.
Adrian,
Oh, you did.
second. Okay, are we ready to vote on this one? Okay, Loretta will vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta, Powers.
Okay.
Okay, that motion passes. Okay, so we'll leave it, Steve, in your hands to do what needs to happen. Okay. All right, Cheryl.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, we did that.
I think, is Dan Naughton up next?
Yes.
So he's not gonna be here. He asked me to present this.
Oh, yes, I did.
So,
Yeah.
Dan, the other Dan
Extending the contract
for the S&T security.
S&T security because they need more time to RFP for replacement security, so we can't let the security lapse, so I'll motion that we approve, what we go with, 3 months or 2 months?
Until June 30th.
June 30th, that's right, thank you. So I'll motion that we continue the security contract with the current vendor until June 30th. Second.
Questions or discussion? Denise.
Just with an amount not to exceed $175,035 for that portion, bringing the total extension amount to not to exceed $350,070.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We have any other questions or discussion? Ready, you're good?
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that one passes. That was it for probation? That was Dan's agenda? That was it, okay. Moving on to planning. Hi, Tammy.
Hello.
Good morning.
I have a few resolution requests. The first two are related to Cornell Cooperative Extension, so I'm presenting that for them. The first is their annual allocation contract for $195,000. That's what they use to provide their regular programming as well as maintain their space in Cooperstown, and that is in the budget.
So moved.
Any questions or discussion? Go to a vote?
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that's approved.
Okay, the next one for Cornell Cooperative Extension is for $26,000 for their Ag and Food Systems Educator position. It's a position that we share with Schoharie County. So Schoharie County pays into it, we pay into it. I think they do slightly different things for Schoharie County, but for us, what they do is they work to implement the goals of our Ag and Farmland Protection Plan, and that's $26,000, and it's in the budget.
So moved.
Second.
Question or discussion?
Go to a vote. Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay, and the next and final request is a no-cost time extension for our Tetra Tech contract. Tetra Tech is contracted to basically put together and execute our entire hazard mitigation plan. So the original cost is $110,335. That's not changing. That's funded by the grant. What they are requesting is to extend the term, which is ending June 30th, 2026 to December 31st, 2026. And that is because they are expecting delays in the approval process with everything going on with FEMA. So they just want to make sure they build in that time so that when we do get the feedback from FEMA later this year, they will still be under contract with us to address any of those comments.
So
Second.
Any questions or discussion on the extension? Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Robert.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tammy. All right. Moving on to E911, Rob O'Brien.
I'm coming.
Okay. And there you are.
Here I am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a few requests for you this morning, if you will. Requesting permission to contract with Enterprise to replace the vehicle here in 911. Amount not to exceed $1262.24 per month. Those funds are in the 2026 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion for Rob? Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty. Absent. Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. Requesting permission to renew the contract with JPJ Communications for 2026 radio maintenance and support in an amount not to exceed $250,000 out of A3020 548-225. Term of this contract is 1/1/26 through 12/31/26, and those funds are in the budget.
So moved.
second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty, absent. Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. Last request, permission to award the site development contract for the Butternuts Tower site to Centec based on the results of OTGov 004-26. Funding for this work will come out of our SICG grant line. And again, I didn't put the total in there. The total amount, 38,650.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or discussion, please?
Do you have a timeline for the contract?
90 days.
And would the 90 days begin when we sign it?
Yes.
Okay. Is that good for you, Denise?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay, we'll go to a vote on the site development contract. We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Abstain, I was over.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, thanks.
You said on the bottom,
Yeah,
left of the screen.
AYDOGAND.
I think you're more vague with that.
Isaiah?
Stay.
Oh, Ivan?
Oh, is it Dave?
Oh, it's
That's
Dave.
me.
Okay, stay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, all right. We don't have a question. We're ready to go on to the next piece of our agenda, which is back to you,
She's here
Steve.
twice.
Like a bad pen. To coin a phrase, okay. Something entirely better than what I was talking about before. And that's M250. So the first thing is we are seeking authorization to sign the contract or the grant with the state. For our $15,000 grant for America 250 activities.
I'll motion that. Second.
Any questions or discussion?
That's all they got? That's all they got. Yeah.
What do we have any idea how we're gonna utilize that?
Yes.
I can update you, and I may also call upon Alan to update you. So the M250 group decided to award, do kind of an RFP, not really RFP, more like our community events grants. We've set up the same kind of process using Survey Monkey. We've shared it with Michelle. Have we shared it with the full group yet?
No, we've still been working on getting the application kind of whipped into shape so it's ready to go. I think we're basically there, other than if Michelle has any last minute changes, and we intend to go live with it tomorrow.
Okay, so Friday, we'll go live with this, asking folks to
Who's
spend that
targeted?
15,000.
Who's getting the application email?
The people who are getting the application email are everyone we know to reach out. The committee is working off of a list of organizations provided by Deb McKenzie back from her county historian days. And we're reaching out to them saying, hey, it's available. And, we encourage you to apply.
So where they gotta go to find this? On the,
It'll be on the homepage of the county website.
homepage of county works.
So maybe that information need to be shared with all the board reps too, because they know their districts and who might be eligible in each district.
So,
And they can disperse it too, they can ask. I know some people.
Yes.
I know my historical society, I know my chamber has been, talked to about this, but,
Okay.
if there's others,
I think that would be helpful. We've got all of the commission members. They kind of divided themselves up as to who would call who. So, but absolutely, we will make that available.
Does the commission cover the whole county or just?
Pardon me?
Does the commission cover the whole county or each district, or is it just?
Whole county.
How many people are on the commission?
About 9 or 10.
And is the commission and working to have a county-wide,
Yes.
anything that's gonna integrate all, okay.
Yes.
I heard one very interesting way that counties are celebrating the 250th. Like Suffolk County is doing a sticker collection, so people can travel to the different historic sites around the county and collect a sticker in their book each place they go. So there's a coordinated effort by the entire county. So
I want to set expectations.
Yeah.
Level
I'm just wondering,
expectations. Because $15,000 will go fast. It will be mostly, I believe, based on just what I've heard at the last meetings and talking with Michelle, events or I think there might be a couple of museum exhibits. It has to be spent, and we have to do a report by, I believe, September. So it's very kind of summertime, July 4th focus, which was a little bit of it's not what we expected.
so speaking of Deb,
okay.
she recently reached out to me to design a poster for a historical marker unveiling on May 9th. And it's for a Revolutionary War soldier. And it's going to be up on 80 on the lake. So have you reached out to her to talk about, does she need anything for that? Because I mean, that's
I don't know about the markers.
but I mean, that's in keeping with the 250th.
It is. Let me ask you another question. Relative to your original M250 poster, Do you think the Revolutionary War one is even better? And the reason I ask is because we want to put that on the grant.
Totally different,
Okay,
but I can do whatever you want. I'll show it to you, but it's the poster she asked me to sign. I can show it to you here is specific to that.
That
event.
one event.
Right. It is very specific to that.
But that's nothing, we're gonna decide in this committee. right?
yeah, we're not gonna
Right.
decide that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just.
So we're digressing. You're right. We are. We're going on.
I digress a little more, huh?
We got one more
Oh, sure,
digress.
Jim, you can digress for a little bit.
Do we have any tourism money, anything we can add to this 15,000? So maybe there'd be an extra $100 here or there, whatever.
Um,
I think this is gonna be a pretty popular program. I think it's gonna be.
I do too.
You gotta realize they cut 15,000 out of that. Thanks to him.
You get the.
See my earlier comments about difficult decisions.
Yes, I heard. But 250 is a big anniversary.
But I think.
I would like to,
All about priorities.
when's the earliest we might get an update on the commission and the work that they're doing?
That's.
And like what they're planning? Like, is, like, are we planning any, is anyone doing like a series of articles in the newspaper about the county history? Just like a comprehensive look at the 250th and what that timeline has been for our county. Is that part of the discussion?
That particular issue. All right,
So we have like historians, like, can they get paid? We have to pay them.
when I raised that particular issue with the commission, what the historians on the group told me is there wasn't much that happened during the Revolutionary War here. That it was all around us,
What?
but
Who said that?
the historians on the on the commission in terms of battles.
Oh, battles.
So
that kind of thing.
the theme that they've kind of put out there for the celebration is through time. So we don't have to focus on
They go through that every so many
1776
years,
or
they haven't in a while.
And I
1783.
think
We
there was a
can
Clinton.
take that and
The Susquehanna from.
project
Right
it
by my
forward,
house.
because
Yeah.
in the
There's a monument out in the corner.
post-revolutionary time, our county was instrumental. It was at the nexus of what was happening
Matter of
in
fact,
New York State.
behind my house,
So
they found
I just think there's
cannonballs.
a lot there to
Right.
unpack,
Yeah,
and I wouldn't
Frank
want to
Sinatra
miss
had a
out
couple.
on it.
He found out, but, and there's
So-
guys up there looking all.
It's just an idea, and I'm jumping out way ahead of Michelle, right? But if there is any appetite for making any additional money available, okay? And I'm also the budget officer, so I feel like an idiot saying this. But if there is any opportunity, appetite for that, we could do a second round of grants beyond the 15,000 that the state gave us. Some small amount focusing on these very things that you're talking about. Because I think at this point, the commission is focused almost entirely on getting out the grants and pulling together information from the different events that are going.
So what you're saying, is there is money available to fix the Civil War monument out front?
I don't think that's the purpose of that.
Different topics.
Right.
Right.
I believe me, I'm full support, but I think it's a different topic. The other thing is, I'm saying here is there is an opportunity because of the history in this county for tourism to tag it in.
Yes.
People love to come to that kind of stuff and they bring their money with them.
Is, pardon me, DMC is on the commission and that's,
Right.
We have a meeting this afternoon, so I will definitely dig into that topic while we're there.
Of
DMC with
The larger organizations, Baseball of Fame, Fenimore Museum, Dunmore Farm. They all are doing 250 anniversary related exhibits and events. So I mean, I think what, you know, this commission is volunteers, and we're you know, we're not,
And we don't,
we're not giving them any money, and we're not, you know, to ask them to do. I think we need to keep their purposes very clear, you know, that they can help aggregate, I think, all the things that are going on. I don't think they have the capacity to actually do something on their own. They need to rely on the larger organizations or the organized small organizations that are actually going to do something. If we can channel all that together, then your questions would be better answered.
right, I think so. I think there should be, maybe, is it possible to suggest that they could be a clearinghouse for information on everything that's going on?
I think destination marketing is trying to be that clearinghouse. I think we need to hear that from that was my understanding.
Okay.
You know, I thought that they were going to try to
pull
all of that.
Okay.
We need to know more about this.
Yeah, no, I think, and
I don't
know
wanna,
when was the last time we had Cass come and present. I mean, this would be perfect timing.
You know, like a reenactment on the lake or something, you know?
So there's a ton of ideas. First off, I think you should probably ask. Let me back up. I'm stressing a little because I'm about to be sort of fall off the face of the earth because of my surgery. So my ability to coordinate is like gonna go to zero for a bit. I would suggest that you invite Michelle and or Cass together to brief one or more of the committees. I think they can do a much better job than I can at this.
okay, so maybe Michelle could come to the IGA committee.
I don't think that Andrew's idea about cash coming again is a bad idea either.
Yeah.
It generally comes in the spring, and that would.
Yeah, it would be good timing. Just
I can suggest, I'll talk that up at our meeting this afternoon, and I think that would be great. Too, especially if that would be the ideal platform to disseminate all the information about things that we have going on, would be through the political website.
I think that Gibson would be able to put it on our county website. Link to it, you know.
Okay, and I didn't mean to like have the commission with all those things. I just figured they could find out who could do such things. But
they're a little bit disorganized, and that's also because of my first eye surgery and Deb stepping away. So I don't want to blame those people for anything.
No, we got a slow start, but we have a year. So a couple months before summer hits. I think we can get something go. I think we can do it.
My tier 1 training yesterday, people from the state, Homeland Security were there, and they are activating the state EOC beginning of June. It's between the FIFA, the soccer, and the AM250, which she made us practice sesquicentennial. She made us practice. That they and all the mass gatherings that they are all across the state. They're really gearing up for everyone that's having all the gatherings, all the celebrations, all the so.
I think there's going to be a tall ships thing down in
she
New York
showed
City.
pictures of that. That was
more
impressive.
than that. Yeah.
50 countries, 36 different military ships, and supposedly they're coming up to Hudson too, so.
It's like a fleet week.
Yeah, July 4th weekend, so 250 ships I think they were gonna have.
Can we get a couple of them on Lake Otsego?
I didn't ask. It's,
We don't have a loss big enough.
And our river's not big enough.
I
think it's more than a canoe walk.
Practically, it would not.
If they could come up to Susquehanna, it would be all right.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
That limits our size.
We could just portage it over all the.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks, Steve, for bringing us up to date on the America 250. I think we have we'll be building enthusiasm and organization at the same time as we get towards summer.
Big shout out to Alan Barnes and where's Isaiah? Actually, it was Mike, who built that,
Oh, the.
application for us. And also, great job, and I think we can
Thank you.
use that for other N250 things. And
Thank you.
if I could just add one thing, going back to the less attractive discussion.
Oh, yeah, it is still here on number 2. You still have a budget agenda
budget?
to
Oh, money?
spend.
And I just wanted to kind of do a better answer to Keith's, because I sort of didn't do a, I surprised you. Good thing. Remember, Keith, that's, why don't we, if we have to have a $27 million fund balance, why don't we fund a couple of these lower cost projects with that money and not borrow? And the question and the answer that I probably should have get is, of course you can do that. But you still need, that's a minimum level in the fund balance to get good rates. And you have, just the jail is gonna be $100 million project. And you have another several $100 million worth of projects.
So what is the actual fund balance that we have to keep?
It's 2 months of your annual operating budget.
What is that as a percentage?
We never had a fund balance that high. 27.
You're right. And if you go back to Alan Ruffles' presentation from his accountants looking across the whole of New York State, we were an outlier among most other counties, which have made a practice of building up huge fund balances. And this is something that we should do.
So I thought you got spanked for doing that.
So
From the comptroller.
the comptroller doesn't want it to be huge, but they absolutely say 2 months or 10%. 10% is less than 2 months, obviously.
So 2 months is 27.5. What's our? No.
What was that? What was our 167?
Yeah.
I just did 167 million divided by 12 roughly.
It used to be, we used to have a 2 months of fund balance. That one was $100 million budget.
Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah, it's where we were, right, where we are.
Okay.
That percentage even staying the same increases your, because our budget's increased so much since 2012 when I first got here.
Yeah, and I think we just didn't focus on it because we weren't planning on big capital expenses.
But the crack up having come back from 7 years off is that everyone seems to have the impression that years ago it was easy. It was never easy.
Oh, good
The only
point.
time people said it was easy was when they 1 year figured out that we spent 22% more than we thought we had. And that was before my time.
Well, just speaking of, I was looking at a book that I got when Carl Higgins got done. Back and then, his taxes were roughly $10 million.
Yeah, that's what
You
it was.
know, and they're only 11 now.
Well, that's 13.
What, the property tax?
Yeah, the tax levy.
14.
So that's like $4 million in, I'm gonna say 15 years or 16 years.
Yeah.
That they've gone up that much, you know.
And that was like the 2% really kept it
Yeah.
very, very slow. And that was one of the things that the accountants talked about was how that, it compresses what people are spending and how we're budgeting. And there are things that need to be done and paid for that are getting either
getting
cut
done,
out or
paid
not
for.
addressed. Or
Like our buildings.
yeah. So.
Right, right. I do believe, even though we're gonna have to cut the budget, we can get by with not cutting into too much operational expenses. But we've got 2 things that are going on that we're adding to the budget of those days. One is we did serious compensation studies, so we know how to keep our employees in the market attractive. That is expensive. That's expensive, right? That's roughly speaking $6-7 million each year it goes up. and probably more after the steps we took to get our managerial talent in that market. And then there's the capital program. There are some people who think, no, let's just not do it, and they're dead wrong. You've got to get going on these buildings, otherwise you're gonna be in an emergency situation.
The holes get deeper.
So, and I think the only way to get through this is a 5-year plan. You can't do it all in 1 year.
5-year plan is a good beginning to a 25-year plan, but like for
Yes.
us, a 5-year plan is the best thing that we can do to get our heads around everything that we need to be addressing.
And we have everything we need to do this. We don't need to buy fancy software program or add gobs more staff. We've got everything we need to do this, but we need, frankly, the leadership.
We need to get going and do it.
Yes.
So,
That's why they're pushing.
okay,
Push more.
so, moving, we do need to vote on the America 250, the 15,000. We do need to vote on that. Loretta said we have a first and a second, but we could vote on that now. It would be great.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta.
Yeah.
Powers.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Okay, so, and then Steve, the rest, we don't have to vote on your budget mods and transfers. You're just
No,
letting us know.
just trying for me.
Okay. So we are gonna retire your agenda item. Andrew, are you gonna, who's presenting on the event grant?
I think, I mean, I could just do the quick overview on it.
Okay. I just wondered if maybe we could just jump to Victor Jones and
Yeah,
let him do
sounds good.
his agenda, because it's right on schedule for him.
Madam Chair, I wasn't able to talk to you earlier.
Yes.
I have to leave at 11 o'clock. So.
We may, who knows, we may.
Oh.
I don't know, I didn't say. Okay.
Good morning.
Tina, hi,
How are you?
good, thanks, good morning.
The only thing we have today is budgeted request of purchase of additional meridian barriers with necessary accessories, amount not to exceed 35,000. The account number is A3641-52000. The sole source letter approved by Onondaga will be forwarded to the county attorney's office with the request for resolution.
So moved.
Second. Any questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
And that's all I have.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Now maybe we could do Isaiah and then we'll go to the community events.
Good morning, everyone.
Thanks for sitting through our other discussion.
I only have a couple of discussion items for this morning. I want to let you know we're spending $6,840 on cell phone management software. This allows us to wipe off the phones if they're lost and find them and manage the applications that are on it. The next item I have is I've been in contact with Greg Mattice for the city of Oneonta regarding hosting the airport website on our county website. We are working out a deal between the city and the county that I'm gonna present to the county attorney's office when it's all set. Just waiting on buy-in from the mayor at this point. Does anybody have any questions regarding that? There was a bit of a discussion last time.
So, there's a question. You're waiting for buy-in from the mayor for that?
Yeah, we're just essentially he'll be signatory. He'll be signing the agreement.
So he's not the one that wants to do this or what?
Greg Mattice does. He's the city manager.
Oh.
He's hoping that we can host it as well as us. IT. So,
Remember, Isaiah is on the airport commission.
Yes, I know.
This is
Yeah.
kind of our technical assistance.
We recommended that we host it through the county as an airport commission. Last month, I did present a situation with our network for the virtual software and the vSphere. I just wanted to give you an update that has been we've
basically found a way around it. We do not have to purchase any more software this year. We had a licensing agreement for some of our backups that we were able to apply to our virtuals. We did lose some of our abilities to manage, but that will be addressed in the summertime when we start looking at new software packages. So the emergency has been completed. So in the next item, one of our techs found a Spectrum tech in our server room unescorted over in the meadows. Essentially, we have confidential and secure equipment over there. We do have a lock on the door. We have a pass to get in there that requires a key pass. But they were let in by security with a master key. So I talked to Carol about this and Meg. And I would like to write up a policy requiring a 2-person rule for all of our server rooms throughout all of the different complexes. And it's going to affect a couple different departments such as probation and office of the aging and some other departments. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that is probably coming in the next month or two. I am going to run it through the county attorney's office once I set it up, and Carol's office. So
what was the purpose of being in there?
So the Office of the Aging, I believe, has their own modem and their own network that's like a leased area, I believe. And so they had a tech request to change out the modem for some issues, and they'd come without notifying us and went to security guard, and then they let them in essentially. So.
Can we somehow alarm that door and notify you when it's open?
We are working on that as well. We're looking at upgrading our door alarm server software. That'll give us immediate notifications whenever it's being opened and used, so that we can have a better idea of who's going in there and better logging of who's going in and whatnot.
Can we post on each of the doors too, that no one's allowed in there without notifying our IT department?
That's the plan. As soon as I get this policy all set up.
Building services can help you make the signs. Also, if you haven't, reach out to Dan Naughton.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that could
Definitely
create some
priority.
havoc.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not ideal.
Why not? So,
Yeah, that's what I think. You think
Definitely looking forward to the product of that.
just wanted to keep you all.
everything we do to prevent people from coming in to the front.
Oh, it can always be undone.
And then they go through the front door.
Yep.
That's
Nobody has any questions? That's all I have for today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Isaiah.
It really doesn't take sophisticated software. It just takes one guy and a
that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
who looks official.
Okay,
Well, you had just great.
all right, Andrew, we'll do just a quick thing
Yeah.
on the
I'll just hit the
grants.
high points. So just, I guess just for everyone's reference, last year our average grant was $1,193. As Keith mentioned, we had originally budgeted to increase our funding from 60,000 to 75,000. That was reduced as a part of the budget process this year. But I think, same with last year, I think we're continuing to draw more applicants. So we had 78 total this year. 2 were from the same applicant from the town of Hardwick. So we obviously just said only 1 would be funded, and then they would decide which one. And then 2 applicants did not submit their final report, so they were ineligible for funding. So it reduced our number to 75. We had a lengthy discussion about kind of how can we better allocate the money, and I think we're looking at refining the criteria for 2027. But in the meantime, we decided that the same kind of formula and approach that IGA used last year, and I think possibly the previous year before that, just taking the number of applicants and pot of money and just dispersing it evenly across the applicants. There was 1 request for $600, so that applicant got their full 600. The others are all getting $800. So essentially 75. When we are left with $200, we are just letting that money, not allocating it at this time. So, and Keith made the point that we really do need to put more money into this program. It's, the grants are getting smaller and smaller and it doesn't go very far. And Keith was talking about the challenges even with Springfield July 4th parade and their own rising costs. So, you know, I think we just felt that allocating it evenly this year was the best decision until we can revisit the criteria for 2027. So that IGA approved that allocation, and that's what's being presented to admin.
So moved. Ready?
Thank you.
Do we have a discussion now?
Yes, yes.
I been thinking a lot about this and I think it should be under, the guidelines should be under the committee. But I also think that maybe take that pot of money, divide it between the 14 reps in the district. And each district, each rep gets those applications and let them kind of decide what goes where. And then go back to the committee for approval. That's just a suggestion.
Idea, for sure.
You know, I mean, it's
Like
just
the West Point approach.
well, you know, you gotta be nothing against the IGA, nothing against the IGA committee. But a lot of the people on this board don't know what goes on in each one of those districts. You know, you have no idea.
It's our
I have no idea what's going on. Am I talking just to talk or what?
No,
Kind of likening it to the federal government's pork
Well,
barrel.
don't even go with them. Well, really, you know, Schumer and all these guys, Jim Stewart, they all got money and they appropriated where they thought it was.
Or like a
I think this is an opportunity for IGA to maybe just go back to the drawing board, and that seems like an idea that should be considered with anything we're talking about.
Can you break down the applicants this year into districts
Yeah.
and show before that conversation?
Yeah.
How many came from each district? I would wonder out of wards 5 and 6 compared to 1 and 2 in the city.
Right.
You know, how many came from there compared to Hardwick or Milford or.
Yeah, it's probably better to just
Cooperstown.
go.
Or Cooperstown.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
It may be easier for some
Yep.
than others.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and not sure.
Well, you know.
I'm not sure some of the reps would even want that responsibility, but
Yeah,
it's up to them.
no, but I mean, it's just
It can be a political.
It's an interesting
commentator.
thought, and I think we should look into it.
Yeah.
And I just, there's some issues I'd like to see, break that down as far as the applicants, where they came from. And
well, it's just food for thought. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, essentially you're talking like, you know, it'd be
$4,000.
Yeah, about $4 grand. Yeah. So
You know, and look at that event and see if it's really warrants what it gets, because you know, I hate to say this, but some of those organizations are probably making money off that $800. I mean, they are, I mean, it's especially say a craft show, you know, in order to go to a craft show, you have to buy a spot.
Right.
So you're getting money there. And all you'd really, you're paying for the advertising, a couple ads in a penny saver or what, you know, I mean, to justify it.
I think one of the criteria should be the benefit to the county as a whole.
Well, that's what it started out
Well,
with,
that-
was to
it
create
used to be,
overnight
right,
stays.
focus on overnights
it's
and,
a best.
yeah.
And then we
Very
sort
tourism.
of, we had so many
Broad.
applications that were just community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, they
And I
weren't
think-
getting funding.
And they don't,
I think we've got away from that.
I mean, we, you know, just, you know, and I think, Alan forwarded the applications, to everybody, but when we had one of our one of the, I don't want to single any out, but like very broadly, you know, we have people now applying to do business openings. You know, it's that, you know, to pay for their grand opening of their own business. That is the direction we're moving.
So
with our-
it is a good time to take a pause
Yeah.
and revisit.
Rethink,
Yeah.
what do we really want this to focus on? Is it back to more tourism driven focus?
To be able to, I think, put in language
that's
there
right.
that would allow for the committee to disallow some of
And
the
there's other
applications.
opportunities. I mean, there's other opportunities that reps advocate for, like I've somehow taken on the fair that I advocate for money for them. So I mean, it's not like that's the only opportunity.
As far as the funding, I think with the sales tax on the rentals, that we could probably find more money to increase the funding to that program.
Well, that was the purpose of the start, where was supposed to take from the bed tax money to do this, and it just got away from it, I feel.
Yeah, if you had that additional 15,000 we originally talked about budgeting, everyone would have got $1,000 grant this year.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have been too far off.
So I do think it is IGA's kind of priority to revisit the way the grant is applied for and assess to be able to assess the applicants and prioritize
Like
them.
you said, I think they should be required to submit a report at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they are.
They do that. We did actually disallow two that.
Yeah, because they didn't.
Yeah, two of them got caught because of that.
Or you get paid when you get it, but.
Well.
Well, anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Okay, all right. Any other discussion? All right, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy.
Oh, wait.
No.
Okay.
Aye. Kennedy.
Aye.
McCartney.
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta.
Aye.
Powers.
I had a brief moment where I thought we hadn't done the motion and second thing yet, so.
Oh,
I think-
okay.
you know,
Well, that's usually what I.
The only thing is, I think we always, I think we end up always talking about this at the board meeting, but many of us are affiliated with many of these organizations, so I don't know. For me, I'm putting in my conflict of interest form, but it's as a board member volunteer or
Almost
something.
like, I think the last couple of years, we sort of waived all.
Yeah, we're not
because we
abstaining.
wouldn't even have a quorum
Yeah,
if
we won't be able to
everyone
vote.
that
No, 'cause I
I'm.
never got on the 4th of July committee. If you asked me to be on it, I wouldn't get on it.
It's not on the fair board.
No.
I think
We're gonna
we
get
decided,
2 votes on it.
as long as we're volunteers, we're fine. We're
Right,
safe.
we're not getting
Yeah.
money or compensation
No
for
benefit.
all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, community events grant, we did that. All right, so Denise, and then we'll go to,
That I like.
And Fenimore Farms.
do you want to say?
Before we go into executive session, I just want to give you an update. We got the form for Jeanette's biller
Getting richer.
Uh-huh.
that she talked about earlier. We just got it. We'll kick it out this afternoon.
Oh, great.
So we'll get it to personnel today.
Okay,
Great.
So I have something that's for public and then I have something. that's-
okay, and when we finish,
They can get the authority.
the public defender,
How do you sign up?
the executive session will be coming back into open session after that as well.
Yes. I'll do
Okay.
that.
So, could we do your open session part, then go into the executive session? And then come out and do your open session part and Susan's open session part?
So, yeah, I think what we can do is we can do my open session part now. We'll go into an executive session. I'll present mine and then Susan can come back in and present hers. And then we can come out of executive session and then we can then present my extra and present Susan's.
Okay, I just wanted to
Yeah.
limit the amount of times you have to turn it off, turn it back on.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay,
First, I wanted to speak with you all about the social media policy. I did email that to everyone with some red lines. I do have copies here if anyone needs a copy. But we can have a discussion about that, and then I've asked for a vote to move that forward with the changes that I was proposing. And I could go over those changes. Would you like a copy? And the changes that I'm proposing are number 3, under the county employee guidelines, I'm proposing adding a sentence that says, department head and any designated site administrator shall read this policy to sign off acknowledging their understanding of the policy rules and agreeing to follow the policy. Assigned acknowledgement shall be provided to the personnel department. That's one of the things. And then at number 14 for the site monitoring, I am requesting that a line be put in there that says neither department head nor the site administrator shall respond to any social media comments in their capacity as an Otsego County employee without prior approval of the county administrator, the public information officer. Those are the two.
Did that also include the chairman of the board?
No.
No.
We had to
As
have.
far as
they wouldn't have, I don't think they'd have an admin access to any of those Facebook pages. I don't think the chair would they?
So
We don't have a social media.
No, but
The departments do.
He's talking about the chairman of the board, not,
If it's-
not the act, not
You just said the administrator without the approval of the administrator.
yes,
What happens if the administrator is absent?
Oh, yes.
we can add like, or,
I get
and,
it.
we could do and, or the chairman of the board,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's a good
fair.
idea.
put that in there? Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were saying chairman of the board would be making posts or something like that.
No, but they could approve the content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
If someone's going to, if someone,
Not the-
yeah, if someone's going to,
Like, or so.
Well, just not for that reason, but for any reason, in general.
any questions on that?
I think that that's really a good revision.
Right.
Do we have a motion?
So make.
Second.
Any other discussion? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini absent, Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Aye.
So that's still enough to, okay, so that was approved. Thank
So,
you, Denise,
yes.
for putting in the time in on that.
And I plan to present to you next month a revision of the contracts policy and the vehicle policy that the county currently has. So that's my plan. Probably, we have a few policies that have not been reviewed in a while, so we're gonna take this opportunity to kind of bring one or two before you each month. So those are the two that we have planned for next month. I mean, there may be some changes that, there might be a month or two, we don't present something, but that's our plan. The next request I have is a budget transfer. And this is from, this is a workers' comp budget. Moving from line 1720 to line 1710. And this is the amount of 109,000. And the reason that we're doing this is we have been, we have a couple different workers' comp budget lines, and it's my understanding that the 1720 line, which has this 109,000, we pay the items out of the 1710 line. And jump in here if I'm saying this wrong, but we're doing basically an organization of where things are being paid and making sure it's the appropriate line, and the 109 needs to be in the 1710 line, not the 1720 line, essentially.
That's correct. yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're asking to have that moved.
So move.
Want to be a
We
budget?
have motions?
Guess so.
Second. I don't know what we're doing, but second.
Okay, well.
We're
then
moving
Denise-
109,000.
Yes,
From
so we
one
have,
workers' comp line to another, just so for
Seventeen
organizational
twenty to
purposes.
1710.
Yes.
Okay. What are the titles of the budget lines?
I-
Can you answer that, Al?
I don't have the titles, but what this is essentially doing is line that it's coming out of is for the workers' comp payments themselves. This
Oh, okay.
109,000 is for kind of the associated fees and other charges from the TPA.
Yes.
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you.
all right. Any other questions before we go vote? Go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini absent, Marietta,
Yes.
Powers.
Okay, that motion passes.
So now I would request to go in executive session for purposes of C, information relating to current or future no, I'm sorry, that is not. It is D, discussions regarding proposed pending or current litigation. And also F, the medical, financial credit or employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we're going to enter executive session, then we will be coming back into open session when we are conclude our discussion. Okay, we're back and going to vote to go back into open session.
So moved.
Yes.
You want a second?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes, or
Aye.
aye?
We still have
Okay.
4 now?
Yes, I'm pretty sure we do. But Loretta can check.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There are 4 of us.
Yeah.
The
I think
numbers.
28.
Megan's twice as many.
Yeah, Meg is the champion.
Didn't help her the other day, though.
Luckily, you like,
28.
we're good? Okay, thank you. Okay. So we are going to come up with a couple of resolutions. The first is one for the county attorney. And the motion will be to authorize the chair to sign the proposed opioid settlement with named entities.
Oh, you forgot that we had done that.
Yes, that's why I wrote it down here.
So,
Second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Okay, we'll go to a vote when you're ready, Loretta.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers.
Aye.
Okay, so that motion does pass. And we'll go ahead, piece with that, and we'll go to the next one is another county attorney resolution. And this one will be to create a line for settlements in the workers' compensation budget. Part 1. Part 2 is to move $300,000 to the settlement line in the workers' comp budget. And then part 3 will be to have the county attorney consult with the treasurer's office and the budget office and the workers' comp third-party administrator to allow to negotiate and pay settlements in the workers' comp program. And I'm
It's
sure.
all in one motion?
Yeah. That's
I'll make that motion.
okay. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, when you're ready, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Powers.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. Now, we're going to do the public defender motion. And this will be a motion to create fund and fill.
Yes.
Temporary, part-time assistant public defenders at $59.67 per hour.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? We did good work in our executive
Right, yeah, I
session.
think we should all.
Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur absent, Martini. Marietta absent, Powers.
Aye.
Oh, one part of that for 3 months. Sorry. Is everyone amenable to that change?
That's great.
Okay. All right, so that does pass. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have anything else?
Moved.
I have something else, but after the.
Oh, okay, so we can adjourn?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a
Move to
motion to
adjourn.
And we have a second? All those in favor of adjourning? Aye. Okay. thank you.
Quickly, the solid waste committee, Kyle called yesterday and said there's a meeting today.